Howdy folks, Doc here with Last Best Tool, and I've got a bit of a disappointment, but maybe not a deal killer going on here. I picked up this Lodesol Magnetic Mat, and one of the reasons is Snap-on doesn't have one of their super mats in between this size and this size. They go to a larger size, and these things are incredible. I mean, they are amazing. I've started out with the little tiny ones here. They are just incredibly strong. So I figured, just this had Snap-on branding. Maybe they were first to the table with, whatever designs they were using. But there were other companies that have been around for a while, like Lodesol. This is out of Bellingham, Washington, versus the Snap-on one, which is made in Taiwan. But anyway, I thought maybe this would have similar characteristics. I was wrong. The Snap-on just is over the top. But sometimes maybe you don't want that. So I thought I'd show you a couple of comparisons here. And to add a little history to it, I've had this thing forever. You can see this is a Blue Point MM126 might be. It's a metal plate like galvanized steel with a bunch of what do they call these? The flexible magnets, they're like a ceramic magnet. They're not very powerful, refrigerator type magnets. And I use this, I mount it on a wall, and I use it mostly to hold bits and stuff like this, because it's just easy to toss them on there when I'm done using them. It's got some decent pull, and then I supplement it with neodymium magnets, depending. This side was in use. I put these on for demonstration. I actually drill some neodymiums into some wood in order to hang things. These will hang pry bars. These are just super strong, even though they're small. You can get them in bulk. So that's kind of my comparison, is the old school sort of refrigerator magnet type. So anyway, picked up this one, and it's about twice the real estate, at least, of this Snap-on. And I thought I'd run through a couple of tests with it. And the first thing I noticed, by the way, here's a good use for an 18mm wrench, is testing a magnetic plate, is it's not really that strong. And it has to do some with the placement, yes, but not everything is perfectly flat. So you can see I'm able to drop that off versus the Snap-on. I mean, it's like a pit bull. You're in trouble. In fact, sometimes it might be too much, and that may be the saving grace of this. These things are crazy. I travel with these guys in my toolbox, and I literally have to pry them off my tools because, they're so strong. In fact, check this out. Here's an example. I've got, what is this? A 36mm socket here, big old husky. I can put that on this little tiny Snap-on, and it stays on. You see that? It's stuck there. In fact, I can even go sideways on the curved surface, and it stays on there. I can knock it off if I work at it. But let's try this. Let's compare it to this Lodesol. If I put it on flat, and you can see as even just at a slight angle, just rolls right off. Get your turn, Snap-on, just wait. So you can see here as I start to tilt it, when it goes vertical, it just falls right off. I'll do it with this little bit larger Snap-on mat. By the way, this is the micro mat, and this is the mini mat. And these are expensive, which is why I looked out here a ways. In fact, I can't remember what this was, like 12 bucks. This is like $30 for one of these guys, little ones. It's like a coaster. And then this one here, I think was 20 bucks from Lodesol. But anyway, check this out. There it is. If I hold it on, even ready to roll off. So it's not just a curvature thing. I'm not going to try to, in fact, that's pretty stout. Look at that. I can feel it start to give. If I go this way, yeah, I can see, but look at what's actually happening there. It's on. That's on really tight. So that's my point of reference. If we compare that now, let's go back in time to this Blue Point ceramic or kind of refrigerator magnet. It slides off. If I put something Jiminy, that's the problem. You see what keeps happening? It's so magnetic. If I put a little bit on here to hold it, you can see that there's actually enough there to keep it from rolling off. That's grabbing onto there. Kind of sits in there. This is old school. Oops. Right there, you can see it's all on its own. It's holding it just fine. Old school magnets. I don't know what's in here. I assumed they would be, in fact, you can see how easy these come off. That may be what you want. You know, if you're picking up stuff with it and then scraping it into a bucket, that's different than if you're picking up stuff with one of these and you have to literally pry it off, you know, because they don't want to come off very easily. But anyway, that's an example there. Screwdrivers are an unusual shape maybe because of the angle. I should be able to start out here, just toss one up there. This stays. It's hanging on there. You can see that most of it is right there at the tip. If I go over here, pop these off, and throw that on. Whoops, I've got to have the part of the handle, assuming it's on a flush surface. That actually hangs onto it. There must be some pretty good iron in that handle. And then if I go to even the small snap-ons, I mean, it's just on there, rock solid. That one, super solid. Even there, if I eliminate the tip, there's plenty of grabbing. And that wrench, again, when that's got a solid, look at that. It is not coming off versus this. If I'm just turning the wrench a little, the weight of that is enough to break it free. If I can turn that and it falls off. It's just not on super tight. So I was disappointed. And the problem, you know, usually is I want really strong magnets, not weaker magnets that sort of work. Even if these were a little weaker, and I know Snap-on sometimes is over the top, I did notice, you know, in comparison to my old Blue Point, I don't know what this is from, the 80s or something, this alone is more powerful than this using its state-of-the-art. Except then I started wondering, are these neodymium, or maybe they've got ceramic magnets? It would be a way to save costs and make it less expensive. But you can buy neodymium magnets of different sizes in bulk, and they're not very expensive. So I don't know. Anyway, that's the load. Let me just got another one here. Let me show you the package here. The Lodesol, I don't know, that's like magnetsun.com out of Bellingham, Washington, lifetime warranty. So it is what it is, but is that what I want? And I'm using it in a horizontal surface here. If I put it on a vertical surface, you know, it shows you can put tools on it. Yes, you can. You can set a tool on it, and it does stay there. It's just not on very tight. But if you don't want that, if it's like just regular storage and you don't want to have to fight with the tool mat, it's probably a good selection. If you don't mind fighting with the tool mat as it grabs everything, get the Snap-on. But, you know, I could see Snap-on being just too strong, too over the top for most people's magnetic uses. I mean, it's, look at that. It's grabbed the whole thing. It is, and that. This is just, the Snap-ons are just amazing. But for probably general use, I imagine that's fine. But I'm not as thrilled with it after my experience, and it seems just the same as the old school stuff. Anyway, with that, Doc out.